There is, sebelum ni kita ada law of segregation, kita ada law of independent assortment which deals with two alleles. So sometimes in the community, we will get those that have multiple allelic traits. Okay, contoh yang ni black memang semua orang lah ada multiple allelic traits. So this one, some traits are controlled by multiple alleles. So, yeah, let me get my pointer. Okay. Multiple alleles. What does it mean? Okay, contoh dalam blood we have O, we have A, we have B, and we also have AB. Okay? So, the genes exist in several allelic form within a population, but each individual has only two alleles. They still maintain two alleles, this multiple allelic trait. Cuma variation dia ada banyak. Okay, contoh kalau kita sebelum ni kita belajar kalau dihybrid cross tu two trait, betul tak? Two alleles. So yang ni we have more than two alleles. Yang sebelum ni contohnya T for tall. So T besar, tall, T kecil, short. Okay, but for blood we have a few more, which is multiple alleles. We have A, we have B, we consider as an I. Okay, so ada 3. And then the phenotype kita ada 4. Okay, say one I A is A antigen on red blood cells, and dia ada antibody for anti-B antibody. Okay, IB is a B antigen on red blood cell, dia ada anti-A antibody. So those dia body dia tak, blood dia tak boleh nak fuse dengan A punya blood, A punya antigen. So B is only for B. I pula neither A nor B antigen on red blood cell. Dia kosong. Tak ada A atau B on the red blood cell. But it has both anti-A and anti-B. So dia tak boleh terima A and B. So what does that mean? If you have a O blood, your genotype will be II. Your phenotype untuk A, if you have the A blood, your genotype is this. Is whether A besar or A besar and I satu. Okay, dominance, heterozygous. So, you will have an A blood group. Kalau B, you would expect to get a homozygous recessive. Okay, IB besar, or IB and then a small I. Okay. And then the lastly is the phenotype for AB group. AB is codominant. Maksudnya A dengan B dia both are expressed. So dia ada phenotype dia AB. Okay. Kalau O, can you donate your blood? Do you donate or do you accept only? Who has a 0 blood type here? Donate. Why? Because dia tak boleh nak terima because dia ada anti-A and anti-B antibody in the plasma. Okay? So, A pula dia ada anti-B. B pula ada anti-A. Right? So, the ABO blood type is also an example of codominance when it comes to the AB phenotype. Okay? Both are fully expressed. So, both IA and IB are expressed in the presence of the other. So that's why we get the AB blood group. Okay. So that is for the blood. So this is okay, ada crossing that you have to do. Pagi-pagi ni, are you guys awake already? So let's try to do a crossing. So a heterozygous man for blood type B. So heterozygous for blood type B is this one. I besar, B dominant, and a small I. Okay, marries a woman heterozygous for blood type A. This one. So this one marry with this one. So dua heterozygous punya crossing. One A, I besar, A. How do I say this? To get confused. Okay lah. Okay, this one we cross with this. So when you do your crossing, the chance that the first child will have this genotype. Okay. The blood type untuk A, you will get about 25%. Blood type untuk B, 25%. Blood type untuk AB, 25%. And blood type untuk O is 25% as well. Okay, try to do the crossing. This cross with this cross, you would get this genotype and this phenotype. Okay, this phenotype, sorry. So this phenotype, you can receive blood from this. Okay, so dalam question ni, it says the chance that their first child will have type 0 blood is 25%. Okay, so try to do this. Lepas ni, kalau ada yang tak faham ke the crossing and all, please contact me on my WhatsApp. But it's pretty simple. You just cross this heterozygous with this heterozygous. You would expect to get this. Okay, one of the genotype. It can be 1AI and it can be ni I don't think you dapat ni. No, you don't get this. You get only the AA atas ni. You get this, and you get this. Okay. Okay, next we go on into incomplete dominance. Okay, this incomplete dominance usually occurs dalam heterozygote. Okay, heterozygous. So heterozygote has a phenotype intermediate. Oh, macam mana nak ambil? Okay, heterozygote has a phenotype intermediate between that of either homozygote. Okay, what? This is not the blending concept. Kenapa saya kata it might appear to be? Nampak dia pink kan? It looks like the blending concept yang masa kita sebelum Mendel. Ingat tak we discussed about that last lecture, the blending concept theory. This is not the blending concept theory. Kenapa? Why isn't this so? Because when you cross a pink and the pink, kalau the blending theory, what color would you expect to get?
Pink.
Pink as well, right? Kalau blending concept hari tu. But because of this cross, they produce red and white. That's why the blending theory tu kita disprove. We don't use the blending theory. It looks like the blending theory, but it is not. Because the individuals ni, heterozygous ni ada their own alleles that are not altered. Okay, kalau you cross R1 and R2 with the heterozygous of R1 and R2 as well, you would expect to get at least 1 red, 2 pink, and 1 white. So that's why it is not the blending theory. It is incomplete dominance. Maksudnya wujud. If they cross pink and pink, wujudnya red flower and also a white flower. This is called incomplete dominance. Okay, sebab dia ada individual alleles that are not altered. Still ada. Okay, kalau dalam human pula, an example is the FH disease, which is the familial hypercholesterolemia. Yang ni is the build up of cholesterol in the blood vessel. Tapi at an early age. Okay, kalau homozygote, maksudnya you memang ada the disease and may have heart attack dah during your childhood. Maksudnya you dah kecil-kecil, you dah ada high level of cholesterol in your blood vessel. Okay, this is the FH disease. Kalau homozygous, you memang ada that disease. If heterozygous, ada your friend nak masuk. Okay. If heterozygous, akan ada the disease tapi it's just half of the receptor. Meaning you will still get it cuma at a later stage in your life. It may happen during early adulthood instead of early childhood atau during your childhood. Okay, tu beza dia. Yang ni kalau homozygous, attack during childhood. Kalau heterozygote pula, kejap, ada lagi your friend nak masuk. Sekejap ya. Sorry. I'll share again. Okay. So again, homozygote, it can have heart attacks during childhood. While heterozygous, still ada, cuma it will be at a later stage of the life, probably in early adulthood. Kalau those that have homozygous for recessive, dia tak ada langsung, for normal alleles, they do not have the homo. Saya pernah confused. So homozygous for the normal allele do not have the disorder. So kalau the dad have a disorder, ada FH, so your children have a 50% chance of inheriting the FH. 50% sebab the heterozygous juga can be affected. Okay. Okay, so incomplete penetrance pula lepas ni. Okay, any question on incomplete dominance? Tak ada? Okay, tak ada. We go on into incomplete penetrance. So this is when, if you refer to your, okay, a medical textbook is on page 198. Incomplete penetrance ni pula, the dominant allele may not always lead to dominant phenotype in a heterozygous. Okay, heterozygous, we have one dominant and one recessive. Sometimes the dominant allele tu doesn't mask the recessive. So walaupun the heterozygous, it can still have the phenotype of a recessive. Okay. Okay, so many dominant alleles exhibit varying degrees of penetrance. Contohnya yang paling common is polydactyl. You ada 6 fingers. Ada another one dekat sini. Extra digit of on the hands, on the feet or both. Okay, so not all individuals who inherit dominant polydactyl allele will exhibit this trait. Tak semestinya. Okay, contohnya dia ada dia punya allele dia T besar T kecil tadi. Walaupun dia is a T besar T kecil, it will ada yang akan express the phenotype, ada yang tak. Okay, reason for this is still not clear. So expression may require additional environmental factors or influenced by other gene. It is still going, the research is still going on incomplete penetrance. Kenapa jadinya incomplete penetrance? Walaupun dia ada dominant phenotype, tapi sometimes dia tak exhibit the dominant punya trait. Okay. Okay, next is the pleiotropic effect. So what is this pleiotropic effect? Okay, pleiotropy occurs when a single mutant gene, the mutated gene, they affect 2 or more distinct trait. Okay, bila dah jadi satu disease ni, dia akan spread to 2 or more distinct trait. Dia tak affect satu trait saja, dia affect banyak trait. So this is called pleiotropy. Okay, contohnya Marfan syndrome. Marfan syndrome ni is linked to a mutated gene which is FBN1 ni on chromosome 15. Okay, FBN1 on chromosome 15. Okay, which codes for the fibrillin protein tissues kan. So due to any number of defective connective tissue defect, dia boleh effect ke skeleton, it can go on to the eye. Maksudnya banyak trait yang dia boleh kacau. Okay, it can kacau skeleton, it can kacau eyes, the lungs, the skins, heart and blood vessel. So this is pleiotropy. Single mutant gene, it affects 2 or more traits. Okay. Marfan syndrome ni selalunya dia akan jadi disproportionate, dia punya long arms, dia dapat kadang long legs and hands and feet. Dia punya heart pun very weak, dia ada weakened aorta and they have poor eyesight. So this is an example of pleiotropic effect. Okay, next we go on into polygenic inheritance. Okay, if you refer to page 200 of your MEDA textbook. Okay, this is a bit confusing, so please pay attention. Polygenic inheritance ni is It occurs when the trait is governed by two or more set of allele. Okay, allele kita sebelum ni dua kan, the most. Okay, now when it is polygenic inheritance, dia ada two or more set of alleles. Okay, contohnya kat bawah ni. We have A, B and also C. Okay, two or more set of alleles. So this is three sets of alleles. So each dominant allele has a quantitative effect on the phenotype. So these effects are additive result. Maksudnya it is a continuous. The continuous variation of phenotype within a population. So because of this trait may also be affected by the environment. Okay, contohnya skin color. We have a variety of skin color. Contohnya daripada siapa yang berkulit fair until yang berkulit sawo matang. Okay, so those are polygenic inheritance. Contoh polygenic inheritance, we have the human skin color, we have height, kan kita ada banyak variation, ada yang pendek, ada yang tinggi, ada yang sederhana. Okay, those are polygenic inheritance. Another is eye color as well. So don't be surprised kadang baby color the eyes dark brown, tiba-tiba besar because of the environment, dia duduk kat tempat apa-apa ke atau ada any disease ke dalam dia, the eye color will change. So these are how do you say, it is a continuous variation of phenotype. Okay, kadang you putih, tiba-tiba you dah pergi sunbathing, pergi holiday, the next week you dah jadi gelap. When you gelap, you letak pula sunblock, you letak all this aloe vera and everything, you jadi putih balik. So that is made by continuous variation of phenotype. Okay, it is governed by two or more set of alleles. Contoh macam ni, dia ada sampai 6. Okay, a recessive cross dengan a dominant. So F1, it is a bit confusing kalau nak buat cross. So usually kita tak buat cross lah untuk yang ni. Kita akan bagi soalan yang, cuma yang ni akan ada soalan lain bukannya crossing yang you kena buat crossing and Punnett square. Okay. So these are the proportion of the population and these are some of the variation, possible combination of the variation. Okay, genotype punya example. Okay, next we go on into X-linked inheritance. Okay, which is on page 202. So in mammals, yang tentukan kita punya gender is the X and Y chromosome. Okay, now what we're going to learn about is the X-linked inheritance. Nama dia pun X-linked. Okay, so females are XX, while males are XY. Tapi X-linked ni dia tak berkaitan dengan gender sebab the Y chromosome does not carry this gene. When you tengok is an X-linked inheritance or X-linked gene, dia hanya akan duduk on the X chromosome. It is only carried on the X chromosome. The Y chromosome does not carry this gene. Okay. Okay, contoh, we go on. Okay, so this X-linked inheritance, they're from the Morgan experiment. So Morgan experiment ni, they from a group from the Columbian University, they perform experiment with the fruit fly, Drosophila. Salah hija ni, Drosophila pula. Patutnya Drosophila. Okay. Because why did they try on fruit flies? Because it is inexpensive and boleh raise dalam lab saja. So fruit flies have the same chromosome pattern as the human. So it will represent apa-apa result ni, it can represent for human as well. Morgan's experiment with X-linked genes can be applied directly to human. Okay, what did he do? Okay, mula-mula he crossed a fly with a white eye. Okay, the first one, P generation dia cross white eye punya fruit fly with a red eye fruit fly. So these are the possible gamete from the white eye, which is X besar and then R kecil, which is a recessive. Recessive is for white eye, kalau dominant for red eye. So this is a dominant. Okay, XR, the possible gamete dia X and R besar. This is dominant. So if you notice on the Y, there is no allele. Okay, so turun ke sini when you do your crossing, okay, you cross XR dengan XR besar, you will get this one. You will get this one. You cross this one, and this one, you will get this. So these are the F1 generation, meaning all of it all have red eyes. But dua-dua ni red eye. Either X, R besar and Y, which is a male. Male dia ada red eye and female dia ada red eye juga. So the F1 gamete, what you have to bring down in the Punnett square, we have the XR gamete and we have the Y. You letak kat sini. XR and Y. And then we have the XR besar dominant and the recessive. So you bring down the possible gamete here. This is for the female. Okay. So when you do your crossing, you would expect to get, contohnya X dominant dengan XR ni dominant, you would get this genotype. And this one cross with this one, you will get this genotype. And this one cross with this one, you get this genotype. And XR kecil ni with the Y, you would get this genotype. Okay, what phenotype will you get? You would expect it to get 3 red eye and 1 white eye. But if we refer it to the female and the male, the the females all will have red eye. While for the males ada 1 red eye and 1 white eye. Because the Y tak ada allele express. Okay? Faham tak? Okay. Okay, this is X-link. Okay, X ada dekat X sahaja. Dekat Y tak ada. So Y you turun dia sebagai kosong je. Okay, dia tak ada allele dekat tepi ni. Dia tak ada this gene here. Okay. Alright. So, hemizygous pula. Apa benda pula? Ada banyak sangat homozygous, heterozygous kan. Okay, hemizygous ni untuk male yang deal dengan X-linked gene. Maksudnya, contohnya kalau homozygous, you can get homozygous dominant and you can get homozygous recessive. Untuk heterozygous pula, you can get a big B and a small b. It can be dominant, tapi kalau dia incomplete penetrance, apa benda tadi? Incomplete penetrance kan? Yang, apa ni? Betul, incomplete penetrance by a dominant allele may not exhibit the dominant punya trait. So kalau this for X-link kita ada, sekejap your friend nak admit. Okay, kita ada hemizygous where the male possesses only one allele for the trait and it is expressed whatever allele is present on the X chromosome, sama ada dominant or recessive. Okay, so kalau dekat sini it will have, dia akan ada allele dekat sini je. So kalau dia dominant, XB besar, maksudnya is a dominant. Kalau X dia ada small b, it is a recessive because it is not expressed on the Y chromosome. Okay, that is called hemizygous. Don't get confused. Homozygous, heterozygous, and hemizygous. Okay. Okay. Contoh X-linked recessive disorder, there's a few, tapi yang the one yang selalu kita discuss is color blind, which is allele for the blue sensitive protein. It's autosomal, okay? Right. So alleles for the red and green sensitive pigments are on the X chromosome. Okay, yang ni blue sensitive untuk autosomal, tapi kalau red and green it is on the X chromosome, which is the sex chromosome. Okay. So kalau if you see atas ni, the grandfather is a color blind male. So the grandmother is a normal female. So what we would expect to get, yang ada nanti yang dekat bawah ni, dia punya daughter akan dapat satu color blind female, and then dia punya grandson will be a color blind male. Okay, nanti we will go into details bila kita buat tutorial. Okay. Okay, we will do the crossing and akan ada soalan-soalan yang macam ni lah insyaAllah. Okay. So that was color blind. Next one is hemophilia, which is the absence or minimal presence of clotting or the clotting factor. So an affected person's blood either does not clot or clot very slowly. So kita sangat takut kalau hemophilia punya patient ni they bleed. Kalau bleed internally lagi susah lah, tak nampak susah nak stop, the blood doesn't clot. Okay. So blood transfusion or clotting factor injection help with the disorder. Okay, so these are the crosses. Okay, nanti we will try to do it during tutorial. Okay, so Menkes, another one is the Menkes syndrome. Okay, this is Menkes syndrome. Dia ada kinky hair. Rambut dia macam very rough, very kinky. Okay, and the poor muscle tone, dia selalu ada seizure, and then dia maksudnya sawan. And dia punya body temperature pun is low. This is caused by a defective allele on the X chromosome. And because of the channel, the metal copper channel, move and in and out of the cell, okay, the protein channel. Okay, so next one is the muscular dystrophy, which causes the wasting away of the muscle. Muscle dia jadi tak kuat langsung. It's caused by the absence of the muscle protein dystrophin. Last one is the ALD. ALD ni causes severe nervous system damage. Macam ni. Okay.